Hello, Doug Courtney here, President of Local Business, Exec Data Incorporated, Doctor of Information Systems Technologies, and a former candidate for office in the city of Palm Coast and Flagler County and for state legislature. And I'm coming to you today because I've had some concerns recently over some of our candidates and some of our elected officials for the school board, most notably Sally Hunt. We have been informed through articles in Flagler Live that Sally Hunt has at least one time resigned and then took back her resignation before her term was over. She has mentioned another time that she does intend to resign and doesn't know when. And then a week ago, just last Tuesday, at another meeting, she indicated very strongly that she didn't know if her decisions really needed to be taken into considerations because she does intend to resign her office. As a former candidate and a 27-year resident of Flagler County, I would like to stress to Sally Hunt and to anyone else that is in the situation, if you're planning on resigning, please do so now. And the reasons I'm asking you to do this are more nebulous than anything else, not really personal. I supported Sally Hunt for her run for office. I think that she would have been a great board member. Been disappointed in some of her reactions lately. She doesn't seem to quite understand her position as a board member. But that aside, the fact of the matter is that running for office is a very time-consuming, hard job, and Sally knows this well. You have to qualify for office, includes either paying a fee or getting signatures on petitions. You have to run for office. That becomes a full-time job that you do with other jobs. You have to meet with constituents. You have to raise funds. You have to answer questions. There's numerous things you have to do with the school board, with the media, and you have to try to make voters believe in you and believe in your message and what you want to do. And this is a very time-consuming and very all-inclusive project that you're endeavoring upon. And if Sally, you're going to resign, or Miss Hunt, you're going to resign, there's a lot of people that's got a lot of work to do. We have to find candidates. We have to do all the things we have to do. We have to form campaign committees. And it's a really tough and hard job to get done. And I appreciate the fact that you may want to resign for your own benefits and your own time frame for the reasons you need. But truthfully, it is now the middle of March. And if you wait too much longer, we won't have the opportunity as citizens of Flagler County to choose our next board member to replace you. One will be appointed for us. And I just think that is a terrible thing for any governor, regardless of party or persuasion, to appoint an individual. I think it's very important for local politics to be local. And I think that we need to make sure that we have an election for your seat so that the people can have a say of what's going to happen. Secondly, as I said, it just takes so long to get done. And if you resign now, if you're intending to resign now, that allows us to start hunting for candidates. That allows us to start deciding who we're going to get for. And all intents and purposes, it would probably mean that we're going to be able to elect our next school board member at the November elections this year instead of having to have a special election, which may cost extra money to the schools, to the Flagler County and the Flagler County residents. And that would just be unfair to everybody to have something like that happen. So I really tell you as a bottom of my heart that please, if you're planning on resigning, do so now. Don't wait. There's no agenda, no idea, or anything that you're pursuing or anything that means more than making sure that we have the people that want to be there in place to make the decisions that have to be made. Yes, I am president of the Bell Terrace One Racket Club, and yes, there's decisions on that coming up. But as much as that has things to do with this, There's decisions beyond that. There's the budget that's got to be handled, curriculum, school teachers, principals. There's numerous lawsuits coming up. There's money that's been lost in fishing problems and everything, and we have to go and resolve all these issues and make sure that we have the solid, financially secure, very good school district to teach all of the people that are required to be taught by Flagler County Education, Board of Education. Now, I do want to digress a little bit here. Many of the people don't understand. This is not the Flagler County K through 12 Board of Education. In the state of Florida, the Board of Education is for all educational prerogatives under the public services provided for education in the state. You have a responsibility not only through K through 12, you have a responsibility to pre-K, and you have a responsibility to the educational, public educational beyond 12th grade. We have a very robust adult education system. We have Flagler Technical College and all these things, and there's tens of thousands of students and tens of thousands of adults that benefit from the Flagler County Education, Board of Education and your programs. So you aren't just affecting the school district. You aren't just affecting, the K through 12. You have a much greater responsibility, and the person that's going to replace you has to get involved. And that's one of the reasons I'm also asking you to. And one of the reasons I'm reaching out to you in this way. There's very little opportunity to communicate with this board. By law and definition in your protocols, there's only twice that we are allowed to speak with you. And one of them is at a workshop, and we're allowed 3 minutes at the end of the workshop to discuss whatever we want to discuss. Even if it's an issue you had before you at the workshop, we have to wait to the end. And we also have 3 minutes in a school board meeting. Other than that, we have no other time. For major issues on curriculum and students and teachers and budgets and all sorts of things, the school board only gives us 6 minutes. It gives the administration as much time as they want. If we are blessed with the idea of being able to present to the school board at a workshop or whatever, we're restricted in time. We're restricted by the administration on exactly what we can talk about. And the administration has the ability, after we've had everything what we want to say, to rebut anything that we've said. And do we get the responsibility to be able to rebut them? No, it's outside our time limits. Now, people say, well, why don't you email them? Well, you understand that you won't allow emails. We've tried to email you, and all we do is get an automated response that says contact the administration. You won't meet with us before meetings. You won't meet with us outside of meetings. You won't meet with us anywhere. There's so many places that the school board can reach out to meet with the public. I mean, take a sample from the city of Palm Coast. Each one of the Palm Coast City Council members, including the mayor himself, is having private, separate public meetings that anybody can go to, that they can have and talk with each one of the people in the city of Palm Coast to discuss anything they want. They send out surveys. They talk to them. A lot of times, the biggest problem we have with the city of Palm Coast is getting them to shut up. They want to talk to us all the time. And I really appreciate that from the city of Palm Coast. The mayor is constantly available for meetings. The mayor is constantly available for meetings publicly, private meetings. The other city council members are the same way. I've had no problems with the county commission even. All I have to do is reach out and say, I'd like to talk, or send an email. And they're very responsive and quite open. The only public entity that we have a problem with, the only one we have a problem with discussing or having meetings with, is the school board. You have become isolated and non-responsive, and actually the only people you talk to is amongst yourselves and the administration. And as you well know, being elected official, you aren't in charge. You're merely one of the shareholders we've elected to represent us. The taxpayers, we're in charge. You're supposed to be talking to us. You're supposed to be reaching out. You're supposed to be wanting to know what we want to have happen. Yes, maybe we want something to have happening that shouldn't be happening, or maybe we're willing to pay for something extra that we want to make sure happens, or maybe we want to get rid of something that we really shouldn't get rid of or legally can't. But that's the reason why we elected you to represent us. We didn't elect you to run things. We elected you to represent us and speak for our behalf with the school administration and with the school personnel to make sure that we are running a very solid school district. And if you can't do that, Sally, or any of the other board members, all we can ask you to do is resign, and resign now. Before you follow some outdated agenda or some idea of what you think should be. Before you make a damage to something that maybe shouldn't have any damage done to it. Stop now. Just stop. And also, stop and resign now because, hey, we got people that really, really want to be there. And they're willing to go out on campaign and do the things that we have to have done to make sure we have the representation we want to have. Because we've got a whole lot to get done. There's not only teachers, but there's student choirs and choruses and all sorts of concerts that have to be done. There's teaching adult education, teaching people how to drive trucks, trying to teach them something besides just English as a second language. There's just so much to be done. And if you aren't involved in it and you aren't ready to do it, or you just want to go away, then I just ask you, please, as a citizen of Flagler County, please just take the time and just resign now. Give us the opportunity to do what we want to do. You've taken your time. You've done what you wanted to do, apparently. And, there's nothing more to be done. Just resign now before you do anything else that you may regret, or you may regret you doing. If you aren't willing to stay to suffer the consequences of any of your actions, then please resign. We've got a lot of things to do, and we want to get them done now. But thank you. This is, as I said, this is the only way I can seemingly reach you, and this is the reason I'm reaching out like this. And I hope you hear this. I hope you do what I wish you would do, and just quit now. And we appreciate the services that you've given, and hopefully wish you the best on your way out. But thank you very much for the time, and I'm sorry I could only do it this way because apparently the school board and you don't want to talk about it any other way. Thank you very much.